Hello and Happy New Year. Sorry it's been a while. I'm actually working on 4 different cases, so I'm ambitious, let's just say that much. But today I want to bring up some things that we've been seeing and hearing about Brian Laundrie, of course. I'm sure by now you all know that his parents, Roberta and Christopher, filed a summary administration petition to be named beneficiaries of Brian's estate. Well, allegedly, an email that was sent to the court has been filed as part of the case. It was sent to the court, and they're not saying who sent it. I don't know if it was anonymous or not, but it was to prevent Chris and Roberta from gaining access to Brian's assets, which include the $20,000 in a savings account, and apparently he has some property in his name as well, which, I mean, being in his 20s, that's pretty good. But the letter also stated, which this is a quote, "So I don't think you should not grant a cremate for Brian Christopher Laundrie, who was the son of Roberta and Christopher Laundrie," end quote. So he's actually trying to stop them from cremating Brian's remains. And I don't know, I haven't heard if they have done so yet. If any of you heard, please let me know. The email me a video of what the sender claims is Brian Laundrie caught on CCTV running down a road on December 3rd, which is over 6 weeks after he was declared deceased. Court documents state that at that time no further action was taken, but I do hope that they actually look into who sent the email and investigate the video. They stated that Brian is being helped by a family member and a friend. The footage was recorded in December. However, it is unknown at this time the identity of the person running in the video. All we do know is that this petition was scheduled to be heard on January 18th, but it was canceled for unknown reasons. So they might actually be investigating the email in the video. I'm not sure. I just know that they canceled. And the fact that it was sent to the court rather than the news does kind of make it seem more legitimate. And you all know that I personally believe that he is still alive due to the fact that his family does have all the right connections to, fake a death and provide a new identity. And we know it happens all the time. So I feel it's possible. And with all the secrecy surrounding his case and his family, I also feel that it's probable. And as for $1,000 in his bank account, I mean, if he had this money, then what's the real reason he flew home in the middle of his cross-country trip to empty a storage locker? Because it wasn't to save on 1 month rent. The plane ticket alone costs so much more than a month of a storage locker, and they're calling it a locker, not a storage shed. So it tells me it's possibly small. And it would have been easier and cheaper for his parents just to pay the next month rather than buy him a plane ticket to fly home and make Gabby sit in the hotel all by herself while he was gone. And then he had to fly back. It just doesn't make sense to me. And then if you think back to the body cam footage when they were pulled over that day, he told the officer that they were on a budget and he couldn't afford a hotel room. That's why the women's shelter paid for his motel room at the Bowen Motel. So if he had all this money, personally I feel like the Laundries need to reimburse them at least for that motel room. but a nice hefty donation to that woman's shelter would be. But there's that, and then the fact that he used over $1,000 of Gabby's money to come home when he had over $20,000 in the bank. None of it makes sense to me. If one of y'all can make it make sense to me, please let me know. I just don't know why all the secrecy and lies. Or did that money show up afterwards? I mean, that's a possibility. We don't know how long that money sat in his account. But hopefully we'll find out more in the future. I doubt we'll ever know the whole truth, but now it's been released that the fight between Gabby and Brian was seen by Kylan and Crystal that day. And that's going to be my next video, actually, is on Kylan and Crystal. But we all know how jealous Brian was of Gabby's best friend, what's her name, Rose, and how close they were. So just imagine if Gabby met Kylan and Crystal, and maybe they told them where they were staying, or she knew an idea of where they were staying, and then all of a sudden that Thursday night she's left high and dry with nowhere to go in her van. Who's she going to turn to? If she had met Kylan and Crystal that day out in front of the Moonflower, or even before the fight, maybe she would turn to them, for a place to stay, a safe place to park her van. Imagine if they took Gabby under their wing, how jealous Brian Laundrie would be. He would be livid. And that right there would give him motive. And then if he turned around and hurt Kylan and Crystal after they helped Gabby, then that would give Gabby reason to want to leave him, and for what ultimately happened to Gabby. Hopefully they're comparing the ballistics between the shell casings found in Crystal and Kylan's case to the weapons the Laundries have and the weapon that Brian used to allegedly shoot himself. I hadn't heard if they found a weapon at the scene. I'm assuming so, because then clearly they would question him doing that to himself if there wasn't a weapon somewhere. But Brian rushed home right after Kylan and Crystal were murdered, and I can't see him taking a 9mm onto the plane, so it would have either been tossed out or hidden along the road trip, or he kept it with him in the van. And the more info that comes out, the more confusing this all gets. But when I look at all the pieces from the viewpoint that this was all a setup and that Brian is still alive, that's the only way I can make it make sense in my mind. That's the only way I can make the puzzle pieces come together. If y'all can make it make sense to me, please do so. I do want to know what y'all's thoughts are, and I'll probably touch on more with Brian Laundrie in Kylan and Crystal's video, which I'm going to make next. So please, if you have the time, please watch it, and please share it, because they do need more coverage. And I'm hoping, Dog the Bounty Hunter is actually going to help. So I'm hoping him just being there will actually give it some more publicity. Because, whoever did kill them is still out there. Even if it's not Brian. Whoever did it is still out there. And they deserve justice. Thank y'all so much for stopping by to see what I have to say. I really appreciate it. And all I ask is that you give me a little thumbs up. It really helps me out. And I'm trying to grow my channel the right way, if there is a right way, without causing, a lot of drama. And so you just liking it and sharing it really helps. So I appreciate all of you so much. So God bless.